The bitter wind cut through Marcus's thin shirt like a knife, but he didn't hesitate. As the shivering woman wrapped his only jacket around her shoulders, neither of them could have imagined how this simple act of kindness would ripple through their lives, connecting two broken souls in ways that would heal them both. If you've ever wondered whether small acts of kindness truly matter in this world, this story will touch your heart. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring real-life stories that remind us of the power of human connection. Marcus Jenkins trudged through the snow-covered streets, his shoulders hunched against the December chill. At 34, his weathered face carried the weight of someone much older. The past 3 years as a single father had carved deep lines around his eyes, each one a testament to sleepless nights and endless worry. Just 2 more blocks, he muttered to himself, his breath forming clouds in the frigid air. His fingers, red and numb, clutched a small paper bag containing medicine for his 7-year-old daughter, Emma. She'd been fighting a persistent fever for days, and the $20 bottle of children's medicine had nearly emptied his bank account. But Emma was all he had left after his wife's sudden death, and he would walk barefoot through fire if it meant keeping her safe. The jacket he wore, a worn denim thing with a flannel lining, was his only defense against the winter cold. It had been a gift from his late wife, Sarah, and though frayed at the edges, it was warm and carried memories in every thread. Marcus had learned to treasure small comforts since becoming Emma's sole provider, working 2 jobs that barely covered their tiny apartment and basic needs. As he rounded the corner toward the bus stop, Marcus noticed a woman sitting alone on the bench. Even from a distance, he could see she was shaking violently. She wore only a thin sweater, her arms wrapped tightly around herself in a futile attempt to generate warmth. Her dark hair whipped around her face in the wind, and something about her defeated posture made Marcus slow his pace. He should keep walking. The medicine needed to get to Emma. The bus would arrive in 10 minutes, and he couldn't afford to miss it. Yet his feet carried him toward the bench instead of past it. "Excuse me," he said, his voice gentle. "Are you okay?" The woman looked up, and Marcus was struck by the emptiness in her eyes. They were beautiful eyes, deep brown with flecks of gold, but hollow, as if something vital had been scooped out of them. "I'm fine," she said, her teeth chattering. "Just waiting for the bus." Marcus glanced at the schedule. "The next one isn't for 40 minutes. She nodded, looking away. "I know." Without thinking, Marcus shrugged off his jacket. "Here," he said, holding it out to her. "Take this." The woman stared at him in disbelief. "I can't take your jacket. You'll freeze." "I'm heading home," he lied. "It's not far." In truth, he had a 30-minute bus ride followed by a 10-minute walk, but something told him she needed the jacket more than he did. After a moment's hesitation, she accepted it with trembling hands. "Thank you," she whispered, wrapping it around her shoulders. "I don't know what to say." "No need to say anything," Marcus replied with a small smile. "Just pay it forward someday." As he turned to leave, a gust of wind nearly knocked him off balance, and he couldn't suppress a violent shiver. "Wait," the woman called. "At least sit down. The bench blocks some of the wind." Marcus hesitated, thinking of Emma waiting at Mrs. Patel's apartment. But the old woman had promised to watch her until 8, and it was only 6:30. He sat down, leaving a respectful distance between them. "I'm Marcus," he said, rubbing his hands together for warmth. "Eliza," she replied. "Eliza Chen." They sat in silence for a moment, the wind howling around them. "Why are you out here without a proper coat?" Marcus finally asked. Eliza's laugh was hollow. "It's a long story. I've got time until my bus comes." She studied him for a moment, as if deciding whether he was worthy of her trust. "I left in a hurry," she finally said. "From a situation that wasn't good for me." Marcus nodded, understanding the unspoken words. "I'm sorry." "Don't be. I should have left years ago." She pulled his jacket tighter around her. What about you? Why are you out in this weather? Marcus held up the small paper bag. Medicine for my daughter. She's sick. And you gave me your jacket? Eliza looked horrified. Take it back, please. Your daughter needs you healthy. Marcus shook his head. Emma would be the first one to offer her coat to someone who needed it. She's got a big heart, that kid. Something in Eliza's expression softened. She sounds wonderful. She is. Pride warmed Marcus from the inside. She's 7 going on 40. Too wise for her own good sometimes. You're raising her alone? Eliza asked, noticing the absence of a wedding ring. Marcus nodded. Her mom died 3 years ago. Car accident. I'm so sorry, Eliza said, and the genuine compassion in her voice made something in Marcus's chest ache. It had been a long time since anyone had looked at him with such understanding. It's been hard, he admitted. But Emma makes it worth it. Every day. The bus appeared at the end of the street, its headlights cutting through the darkness. That's me, Marcus said, standing up. Keep the jacket, please. I mean it. Eliza stood too, her eyes suddenly bright with unshed tears. I don't know how to thank you. Like I said, just pay it forward. He turned to board the bus, then paused. Take care of yourself, Eliza. You too, Marcus. As the bus pulled away, Marcus watched Eliza through the window, a solitary figure in his too big jacket. He hoped she had somewhere safe to go. The apartment was quiet when Marcus returned, Emma sleeping soundly thanks to the previous dose of medicine. Mrs. Patel, their elderly neighbor who often watched Emma, reported that the fever had broken. You look half frozen, she scolded, eyeing his jacketless state. Where is your coat? Someone needed it more than me, Marcus said simply. Mrs. Patel shook her head but smiled. You are a good man, Marcus Jenkins. Sarah would be proud. After she left, Marcus sat beside Emma's bed, watching her peaceful face in the dim glow of her nightlight. Her dark curls, so like her mother's, spread across the pillow, and her small hand clutched her favorite stuffed rabbit. The sight of her eased the constant ache in his heart. I met someone today who reminded me of your mom, he whispered, though Emma couldn't hear him. She had the same kind eyes. The next morning, Emma's fever was completely gone, and she bounced around the apartment with her usual energy while Marcus prepared for his shift at the diner. Where's your jacket, Daddy? She asked, noticing its absence as he prepared to leave. Marcus hesitated. I gave it to someone who needed it. Emma's eyes widened. But that was Mommy's jacket for you. I know, sweetheart. But this lady was very cold, and she didn't have a coat at all. Emma considered this, her small face serious. Then she nodded. Mommy would say that was the right thing to do. Marcus felt his throat tighten. Yes, she would. Will you see the lady again to get it back? No, honey. It was a gift. Emma disappeared into her room and returned with her piggy bank. Maybe we can save up to buy you a new one. Marcus knelt down and hugged her tightly. You're the best thing that ever happened to me, Emma Jenkins. You know that? 2 weeks passed. The weather grew colder, and Marcus made do with layered sweaters and a borrowed scarf from Mrs. Patel. Christmas was approaching, and though money was tight, he'd managed to set aside enough for a small gift for Emma, a set of colored pencils she'd been eyeing in the art supply store window. On a particularly busy Saturday at the diner, Marcus was rushing between tables when the bell above the door jingled. He glanced up automatically and froze. Eliza Chen stood in the doorway, scanning the room. She looked different, healthier, with color in her cheeks and a new determination in her stance. And she was wearing his jacket. Their eyes met across the crowded diner, and Eliza smiled, a real smile that transformed her face. Marcus felt something shift inside him, like a key turning in a long-rusted lock. "Table for one?" he asked when he reached her, trying to sound professional despite the strange fluttering in his chest. "Actually, I was looking for you," Eliza said. "I asked around the neighborhood. People know you here." Marcus nodded, suddenly self-conscious of his stained apron and disheveled hair. "I've lived in this area my whole life." "I wanted to return your jacket," Eliza said, starting to remove it. "No, please keep it," Marcus insisted. "It looks better on you anyway." Eliza shook her head. "I can't keep it. Not after I found out it was from your late wife." Marcus stared at her in confusion. "How did you know that?" "I found this in the pocket," Eliza said, pulling out a small, folded photograph. It showed Sarah, laughing in the sunshine, with a note on the back in her handwriting, "To Marcus, so you'll always carry my love with you." Marcus took the photo with trembling hands. He'd thought it lost months ago and had been devastated. "I didn't know this was in there." "I'm sorry I kept it so long," Eliza said. "But it gave me strength when I needed it. Your kindness that night, it came at a moment when I'd given up hope." Marcus glanced at his manager, who nodded, understanding the need for a break. "Can you wait 5 minutes? My shift ends soon." They sat in a small park near the diner, despite the cold. Eliza insisted Marcus wear the jacket, and this time he didn't refuse. "I left my husband that night," Eliza explained, her hands wrapped around a coffee cup. "After years of, it doesn't matter now. I had nowhere to go, no plan. Just needed to get away." "Where did you go after the bus stop?" Marcus asked. "A women's shelter. They helped me get back on my feet." She smiled. "I'm a teacher, actually. I've already found a job at an elementary school starting after the holidays." "That's wonderful," Marcus said, genuinely happy for her. "What about you?" Eliza asked. "How's your daughter?" "Emma's great. Excited for Christmas, though it'll be simple this year." Eliza hesitated. "I hope this isn't overstepping, but I'd like to thank you properly for your kindness. Maybe I could bring a gift for Emma? Nothing expensive, just something from a teacher to a student." Marcus started to refuse, his pride rising up, but then he thought of Emma's face lighting up with an unexpected present. "She loves art," he found himself saying. "And books about animals." "Perfect," Eliza smiled. "I know just the thing." What began as a simple thank you gift turned into dinner at Marcus's apartment, with Emma immediately taking to Eliza's warm manner and genuine interest in her drawings. The evening stretched into regular visits, with Eliza often bringing books from the school library or helping Emma with her reading. For Marcus, watching his daughter bloom under Eliza's gentle attention awakened feelings he'd thought long buried. Eliza brought color back into their lives, filling their small apartment with laughter and possibilities. One snowy evening in February, as they walked through the park after Emma had gone skating with friends, Eliza stopped suddenly. "I need to tell you something," she said, her expression serious. "I'm moving to an apartment near the school next week." Marcus felt his heart sink. "That's on the other side of town." "Yes," Eliza nodded. "But I was wondering, if maybe you and Emma might consider moving too. Eventually, I mean. When you're ready." Marcus stared at her, understanding slowly dawning. "Are you asking us to move in with you?" "Not right away," Eliza said quickly. "That would be too soon. But maybe someday. If things continue the way they have been." She took a deep breath. "Marcus, meeting you and Emma has been the greatest gift. I never thought I'd find a family again, but that's what you've become to me." Marcus took her gloved hands in his. "When Sarah died, I thought that was it for me. I'd had my one chance at love. But then you walked into our lives, and everything changed. Is that a yes?" Eliza asked, her eyes hopeful. It's a, let's take it one day at a time, Marcus smiled. But those days are looking brighter than they have in years. As they walked home through the gently falling snow, Marcus thought about the night he'd given away his jacket, how close he'd come to walking past that bus stop, to missing the connection that would change everything. One small act of kindness had opened a door neither of them had expected to find. 6 months later, on a warm summer evening, Marcus, Emma, and Eliza sat on the porch of their new home, a small rental house with a yard where Emma could play. The denim jacket hung on a hook by the door, no longer needed in the summer heat but kept as a reminder of where their story began. "Daddy," Emma said, looking up from her drawing, "remember when you gave your jacket to Eliza and I was mad because it was from Mommy?" "I remember," Marcus nodded, his hand finding Eliza's. "I think Mommy sent Eliza to us," Emma declared with the certainty only a child could possess. "Because she knew we needed someone to love." Marcus met Eliza's gaze, seeing his own emotions reflected there, gratitude, wonder, and the quiet joy of finding home in each other. Sometimes the greatest journeys begin with the smallest steps. For Marcus, it was offering his jacket to a stranger on a cold winter night. For Eliza, it was finding the courage to start over. Neither could have imagined where that moment would lead them, to healing, to hope, and ultimately, to each other. If this story touched your heart, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Remember that even the smallest act of kindness can change someone's life forever, maybe even your own. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that second chances are always possible, and that sometimes, the family we need finds us when we least expect it.